The NFL draft of 2025 is underway and it starts tomorrow. Let's take a look at what each team is going to be picking up in their draft. And the draft is going to go on for multiple rounds, but let's just see some of the names and the prospects right now that each team did pick up for themselves. Starting with the Tennessee Titans. All right, so we're looking at Teron Davenport pick Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. I think this is good for the Tennessee Titans. They do need a quarterback that's going to be consistent. They need a quarterback that is going to stay long range and can possibly get them over the hump in the near future. So let's see what the first part of Tennessee got to say. Strong consideration goes to pass rusher Abdul Carter and do-it-all playmaker Travis Hunter here. But quarterback is the top priority for the Titans. Tennessee fills its biggest void by taking Ward, the consensus top passer in the draft class. Ward is a proven culture changer who will be charged with leading the Titans' return to respectability before they move into their new stadium in 2027. So yeah, this is good. They do need a quarterback, like I stated before, that is going to try to get them over their hump. So now you bring in Travis Hunter and you get Abdul Carter. You got your duo wide receiver already in there. And on top of that, you're going to be entering into your new stadium in 2027. So that's a good pick for the Tennessee Titans for number one. All right, number two, we got Cleveland Browns on the clock. Here we go. We got Daniel Oyefusi pick Travis Hunter, wide receiver, cornerback, Colorado. Quarterback remains the top need for the Browns after adding Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco this offseason. But the team has said it won't force a quarterback pick, and selecting this high allows Cleveland to get arguably the best player in a draft in Hunter. Browns GM Andrew Berry has said the team would play Hunter primarily at wide receiver, and he is open to Hunter moonlighting on defense to continue showcasing his two-way skills. And like I stated before, Hunter, Travis, he's great on both sides, but what you don't want to do as your team, the Cleveland Browns, you don't want to try to have him play both sides all the time because he's going to get injury prone and he's going to get injured quick. So you want to be careful with doing that. So it's good that they are going to start him out with just on the offense right now, wide receiver, but probably down the line we'll get you on the defensive side. That way you can show people, hey, I can do it on both ends as well. So that's a good that's a good choice for the Cleveland Browns to pick up Travis Hunter. So these for sure are the picks that are going to happen when the draft comes tomorrow night. So if you hear a name in there that's not right with it, it's probably because they switched around with this round, with this team, and whatever the case is, because teams do that all the time. All right, number 3 on the clock is the New York Jets. They have Jordan Rannon's pick, Abdul Carter, outside linebacker, Penn State. The Giants don't seem to view Shedeur Sanders as a top 3 talent, even with their needs at quarterback. That's another team that needs a quarterback. High-level executives around the league agree that Hunter and Carter are a clear-cut top prospects in this draft. Of the blue chip or generational variety, you don't pass on that type of player, General Manager Joe Schoen said last week. So the Giants don't pass on Carter, even if Ed Rush's Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau are on the roster. Yep, which is true. You can add him on the defense side, and it makes the defense a little bit stronger because you got your veterans there. You got your pros there with Brian and Kayvon. So he's going to be shadowing them, seeing just all what I got to do, to be a leader on this side of the defensive side. So that's a good pick for the Giants. At number 4, we got the New England Patriots. Mike Reese pick Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. All right, LSU. New Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel has highlighted 2 priorities in building a winning team: providing infrastructure to help quarterback Drake May succeed with an efficient passing game and finding a way to affect the opposing quarterback. Campbell projects as a potential day 1 starter at left tackle and at worst a high-end option at left guard, which is also a need. George pass rusher Jalen Walker is also highly regarded by some top decision makers with the team. So this is good that they got a offensive player. They do need an offensive player, especially to back Drake May for their quarterback. You know, his stats isn't really that good, but maybe adding some other players to the team could probably help bring out some kind of shine in him, some kind of brightness in him. So this is a good pick for the New England Patriots for them to take that route on the offensive side. Number 5, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are on the clock. Mike Diroco pick. Ashton Gianti, running back, Boise State. Yes, there are holes elsewhere along the offensive and defensive line. However, the Jaguars can't pass up one of the few elite players in the draft. At his introductory news conference, head coach Liam Cohen asked, how do we make Trevor Lawrence and this offensive as dynamic and explosive as we can be? Gianti fits both of those descriptions. Running back Travis Etienne Jr. in production has dipped in consecutive seasons, and receiver Brian Thomas Jr. was the Jags' lone and playmaker. Now they would have 2, of course. So you take Brian and Ashton, and they're going to be able to bring that offensive more alive. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's not too bad of a quarterback. He's not top up there in the top 10. He's not ranked that far up, but he has some skills on him that still got to come out more so people can see his potential and see how far it's going to go. So it's good that they pick up a running back. They do need a running back for that team. That way it can just help the team kind of somewhat be at base, be at ease with everything when it comes to the plays and stuff. So good pick, Jacksonville Jaguars, on picking up Ashton Gianti for your running back. All right, number 6, we got Las Vegas Raiders. They are on the clock. Ryan McFadden's pick, Armand Membo, offensive tackle, Missouri. All right, with Gianti off the board, the Raiders will focus on strengthening their offensive line. Membo has the potential to be an intermediate starter at right tackle, providing protection for quarterback Geno Smith, who threw 13 interceptions and had a quarterback of 19.6 when pressured last season in Seattle. That is a horrible rating, Geno. Hold on, let me say it one more time. That is a horrible rating. Horrible rating when you are being pressured. But now that you are with a new team, maybe that won't happen. You got your offensive tackle, Armand. Hey, I need you to protect me, okay? Protect the pass rushers, protect those edge rushers, okay? I need you to block them in case I got to take off and run because I don't got a receiver down the field that I can throw it to or a tight end. I need you to protect me. So this is good for the Las Vegas Raiders that they pick up an offensive tackle player. All right, let's move on to number 7. New York Jets, Rich Cimini picks Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle, Texas. Whoop, whoop, Texas in the house, okay. Tight end Tyler Warren will be considered, but the Jets really want to upgrade at right tackle after losing Marcus Moses to the Patriots. Banks was a 3-year starter at left tackle, but the feeling is that he can make the switch to the right side. The Jets can have their bookends for the next decade in Banks and Olu. Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. There will be a lot of speculation about whether the Saints will take a quarterback at this position. That's a need with Derek Carr's uncertain status, but the Saints have needs to practically every position, giving them a lot of flexibility about what to do at this spot. With one of the best defensive players in the draft still on the board here, New Orleans will go the best player available route instead of reaching for the quarterback. Selecting the player could help shape new coordinator Brian Stanley's defense on an aging roster. Of course, Derek Carr, he's getting a little bit up there, but right now with his status uncertain, the Saints should also look into getting a quarterback, which they probably will. It probably just won't be this first round, because this is just the first round. They got many rounds to go with every team. They got many rounds. So I do hope they pick up a quarterback because it is needed for them. However, on the defensive side, you guys do have Mason Graham, so you guys will be able to work with him. He'll be able to see what he can do and switch it up a little. All of these guys that are coming into the NFL, they're babies, they're rookies, they're just goo gaga. You gotta wipe their baby, you gotta wipe their butts, you gotta clean them. So they're gonna be learning different things, and the drama that you had in college and all that. Don't try to bring that to the NFL. Do not, because your coach will be ready to have a conversation with you quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I hope you guys do got your heads on your shoulders straight, and just, hey, whatever the team likes with what you're doing, do it. Whatever they don't like, don't do it. Okay? Let's go on to number 10, Chicago Bears. Courtney's Cronin pick, Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State. A tight end as versatile as Warren could be for the Bears what Sam Laporta was for Ben Johnson, Detroit offensive. The Penn State standout caught 104 passes for 1,233 yards and had 12 total touchdowns as a senior. Adding a versatile weapon to the passing game and a player who has demonstrated the willingness to block in the running game. Penn State had 2 1,000-yard rushers on its run to the college football playoff. Will be a major addition and benefit Caleb Williams' growth in year 2. Yes, this is definitely good for Caleb Williams' offensive side. So he'll be able to make some passes to Tyler. They'll be able to grow that relationship and stuff. And the fact that Penn State had 2 1,000-yard rushers, wow. Yeah, that offensive side is finna be explosive. So congrats to Chicago Bears. Number 11, my team, San Francisco 49ers. Nick Wagner's pick, Mykel Williams, defensive end, Georgia. After 3 offensive tackles, Graham and Carter go into the top 10. The call here comes down to Williams, Texas A&M Shamar Stewart, or Mississippi defensive tackler Walton Nolan. But the draft's depth at tackle combined with the importance of an air rusher tips the scales to Williams. Williams lacked a pass rush production, 14 sacks in 3 seasons, and a 2024 ankle injury brings some questions, but he should help San Francisco woeful run defense right away and get plenty of one-on-one pass rush opportunities opposite Nick Bosa. While San Francisco would love a trade down, sticking at 11 and landing Williams would allow the team to bolster the interior of the defensive line in the middle rounds. This is cool, because it's my team. It's cool that we got a defensive end, but we need help on the offensive side, okay? Again, this is just round 1, okay? We need help on both sides. It's just round 1, but we need some players on the offensive side. Do y'all not know how many players we lost? We got to get them in there. But Mykel, we got you, so you'll be able to shadow all of the players that we still got on defense now. There's some players, but it ain't all of them, because some of them are gone. You'll be able to shadow the ones that are still there. That way you can get the groove and feel of everything. All right, number 12, Dallas Cowboys. All right, Todd Archer's pick, Tati Rowe McMillan. I want to say your name right. Tate Rowe McMillan. I think that's how you say it. Wide receiver, Arizona. The Cowboys need playmakers for Dak Prescott, and McMillan fills that hole. He might not have the desired speed, but he can make plays in traffic and had a big catch radius. If the Cowboys want speed, then the pick would be Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden, who had the fastest 40-yard dash at the combine, 4.29 seconds. The Cowboys can still help Prescott in the second round with a running back. Okay, cool. You guys got another wide receiver that Dak can be able to throw it to besides CeeDee Lamb, because he's the main one. Besides CeeDee Lamb, you have another wide receiver that you can throw it to, Dak. All right. 13, Miami Dolphins. Marcel Lewis Jaquez pick, Jahdae Barron, cornerback, Texas. All right, another Texas player. Miami's cup run is over with Barron and Will Johnson still on board. This is an ideal spot to trade down, but Miami takes the speedy Barron in this exercise. Johnson's ceiling may be high, but his recent string of injuries is hard to overlook for a team that needs day one production from this pick. Barron won the Jim Thorpe Award as college football best defensive back last season, has good size for the position, and can play both nickel and outside. He also ran a 4.39 second 40-yard dash, which will endear him to a team that values speed. Yep. Oh yeah, because you got Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill is fast. And now that you are adding Jahdae Barron on the defensive side for the speed. Oh, that's even better. You got one on the offensive side, now you got one on the defensive side. So that is good for the picks, Miami, that you guys did choose that, okay? Let's move it on. 14, Indianapolis Colts. Stephen Holder's pick, Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan. The Colts have been connected to Warrens for months, but they won't have the option here. Loveland is considered by many to be a better blocker, and that's critical for a team that has been adamant its once tight ends capable of playing first, second, and third downs. No team in the NFL had less tight end production than the Colts last season, and that needs to change in order for quarterbacks Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones to reach their ceilings. There you go. This is exactly what needs to happen. Okay? So since they were the team in the NFL last year that had less tight end productions, yes, this is a good pick for the Indianapolis Colts. That way you guys can play your tight end more, have a better relationship building with him. You know, because if your wide receiver can't get open, the next option is for your tight end. Then your last would be running back. And if you can't find nobody open, you use them legs and run. So that's a good pick for your Colts. Congrats on that. Moving on, number 15, Atlanta Falcons. Mark Raimondi's pick, Mike Green, defensive end, Marshall. The Falcons have been starving for opponent pass rush. Their defense has 169 sacks since 2019, 30 fewer than any other team. The Falcons were second to last in sacks, 31, and pressure rate 28.1% in 2024. Enter Green, who had an FBS leading 17 sacks last season to go along with strong play against the run. He might be the pro-ready edge rusher in the class, and that's exactly what the Falcons need. Hey, all of these, the picks and the rounds and stuff that come up, make sure it is what your team needs. Okay? Go get a quarterback. If your team need a quarterback, don't you go get no running back. In one of the rounds, you need to get what that specific team needs on both sides. You got to make sure both sides is covered. But if one side needs more players on there, then get that in the round. Get that in the draft. And obviously, the Falcons needed a defensive end player, and they got it in Mike Green. All right. Arizona Cardinals, number 16, Josh Weinfuss pick, Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama. The Cardinals have been looking to bolster the interior of their offensive lines this offseason, and Booker would be the kind of foundational player they need to do just that. He fit in very well with the Arizona's downhill run game, paving the way for the perennial 1,000-yard rusher James Conner, and he has the size to be effective in the pass pro schemes that Arizona uses, of course, so he'll fit right in. Congrats that y'all picked a guard because you guys definitely needed it. So that way y'all can make the offensive line explode a little bit more. All right, 17. Okay, we got the Cincinnati Bengals on the clock. Ben Baby's pick, Donovan Ezuraku, I believe that's how you say it. Defensive end, Boston College. Alabama's Jaheed Campbell and even a couple of safety options were in the mix here. But with the Bengals lacking long-term answers at edge rusher, Ezuraku makes the most sense. He was also a multi-year captain for the Eagles, was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and can mix in immediately as an edge rusher for new defensive coordinator Al Golden, who likes Ezuraku, also hails from New Jersey. Okay, well, that's a win-win situation right there. Okay, so the Cincinnati Bengals, they got their defensive end that they do need. So congrats on the pick that y'all made. I hope you come through, Donovan. You gotta come through. Because they needed other players in that mix, but they were looking on the defensive side too. Like, we need to make the defense stronger because right now it's weak. It's weak and it's sinking. So y'all got the defensive player that y'all want. I hope y'all put him to use. Don't you be slacking, Donovan. Don't slack. All right, number 18, we got Seattle Seahawks. Brady Henderson's pick. Gray Zabel, guard, North Dakota State. In a perfect world, the Seahawks would trade back and grab Zabel later in the first round, as number 18 may be a bit high for a small school prospect who will be switching positions at next level. So he's going to be switching positions at next level, which means he's not just going to be the guard for the longest, okay? But Zabel's strong showing at the Senior Bowl suggested that he can handle the jump, and his on-field ability will give him a chance to be the difference maker that Seattle badly needs in their interior of offensive line. Yep. This is exactly what you guys need. You guys do need a guard, you know. Now that Geno Smith is out and that whole organization is just being switched around, there's going to be a lot of changes coming. So you guys got the guard position that you're needing. But you know, he's going to be switching at another level pretty soon. So you guys look into other positions that you are going to be needing for your team. But you guys got the guard that you need. You got the guard. All right, number 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jenna Lane's pick, Will Johnson, quarterback, Michigan. The Bucs' inability to stay healthy at cornerback was an Achilles heel in 2024, but they stayed put in free agency in a year of record-setting DB deals. So this is where they strike. Johnson did miss his Michigan Pro Day with a hamstring injury and the second half of last season with turf toe. Still, he checks all the boxes for Todd Bowles' corner in size, length, ball skills, and tackling. All right, so you'll be able to work with Todd Bowles and he'll check you out. Make sure you're good for the defensive side. So you guys got the cornerback that you needed. All right, number 20, Denver Broncos. Jeff Legwold's pick, Luther Burden III, wide receiver, Missouri. In this scenario, players such as Ole Miss defensive tackle Walter Nolan, Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon, and South Carolina safety Nick Emanwari will get long looks. And while running back is a big need, y'all need a running back, Broncos. Make sure you get a running back, okay? Make sure you get the running back. The Broncos feel like they can get a good one on day 2. So even though they selected 3 wide receivers in the previous 2 drafts and are poised to sign Courtland Sutton to an extension, Burden is the pick. His toughness, versatility, and dynamic ability after the catch can make him a smooth, immediate fix in an offensive that needs a little more pop around quarterback Bo Nix. Yes, we got to learn a little more with Bo Nix. And Bo Nix, you're going to build a relationship with Luther. That way y'all can be a dynamic duo. He just might become your number 1 wide receiver. You don't know. You don't know what can happen. But we got to know a little more with Bo Nix. And the only way that's going to happen is with you, Luther. You. Bo Nix is a little hush. You gonna make his name great, and you gonna make your name great too. On that offensive side, you are. So, Bo, you got you a wide receiver. You got another wide receiver in the mix besides Courtland. So, this is a good pick for the Broncos. This is exactly what they needed. Let's go on. 21, Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, Brooke Pryor's pick, Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. All right, Shedeur. Here we go. At the time of the pick, Aaron Rodgers still hasn't made a decision. And though they haven't given him a deadline, the Steelers can't wait on the 4-time MVP forever. With Sanders still on the board at number 21, it would be foolish to pass up a pro-ready quarterback as Rodgers continues to ponder his future. Not only does Sanders possess the kind of NFL pedigree Mike Tomlin conveys, but he also has a big personality and strong leadership traits, which could be the key to giving the Steelers an offensive identity to match his renowned defense. I like this pick overall with Shedeur going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't got too much to say about it. This is a great pick for him. Granted, his dad was in the league. Granted, his dad has been on many teams as well. He could have tried to go to any of the teams that his dad played for, but no, okay? Dion, you are not playing anymore. This is your son, okay? This is your son. And if he likes other teams besides the team that you played for in your day, then that is what he's going to do. But I like this pick overall with the Pittsburghs picking up Shedeur. It's going to be in competition in the AFC. But we're going to see what you're going to do, Shedeur. We're going to see what you're going to do. But I like the pick. I ain't going to go on about it. All right, let's go to number 22. Los Angeles Chargers. All right. Chris Rams pick, Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon. Interior's defensive line is perhaps the Chargers' most significant need. LA lost its 2 starting defensive tackles from last season, Poona Ford and Morgan Fox. In free agency, Ford was one of the most crucial players in the Chargers' defense, having one of the best years of his career in 2024. Harmon would give a physical run-stuffing interior presence to a group that, on paper, is one of the biggest weaknesses. Well, they called out your weaknesses, Los Angeles Chargers. So now that you guys got Derek Harmon, hopefully the biggest weakness will turn into a little weakness, okay? Y'all are missing that key. And y'all got him now. Y'all got him now. Y'all got Derek now. And he's going to fit in great with the defensive side. With Morgan Fox and Poona. I mean, they're in free agency now, but they're not just completely off the team. So he can get some insights. He can shadow them and see, okay, hey, what do I need to do so I can make a big impact, especially on the defensive side, but the team overall? What can I do? Congrats, Chargers, on that. All right, number 23, we got the Packers on deck. We got the Green Bay Packers on deck. Rob Demoskies, I believe that's how you say his name, pick. Shamar Stewart, defensive tackle, Texas A&M. We got a lot of Texas people coming out. All right, y'all. 2 decades of passing on a receiver in the first round makes it hard to predict the Packers would finally end the streak, even though Emeka Egbuka and Matthew Golden were both available. Their preferred pass rusher would have been Michael Williams, but Stewart is likely next on their board. So When one team picks up one of the players you love, now you got to go to the next player that's probably on the checklist of who you would choose. So they got Shemar Stewart, defensive end, Green Bay Packers, because lately y'all defense has been declining, especially since Clay Matthews and just that defense. When I remember him playing, y'all have kind of declined. It ain't been the best. Y'all defense ain't been scary like that. It ain't scary. So it might be scary with Shemar added to it. Who knows? It might be scary now with Shemar added to it. All right. 24, Minnesota Vikings. Kevin Seifert pick. Nick Emenwari, safety, South Carolina. The Vikings would trade down from this spot, only for a slam dunk return, and none materialized in conversations here. With Booker, Zabel, and Harmon all are off the table. The choice here is a safety whose size and playmaking skills would make him an intriguing addition to Brian Flores' positionless defense. The Vikings have one safety position to fill the season after bidding farewell to Cameron Bynum. The 36-year-old Harrison Smith has been in a year-to-year mode for a while. Similarities with the 2023 first-round pick who was signed, a safety who was released after 2 seasons, won't deter their decision. All right, so you guys got Nick. He's a safety, okay? He's going to be back there protecting you guys. He's going to be back there watching everything. Because the Vikings, y'all were kind of uphill. Y'all kind of went downhill with the defensive side. But, I mean, hey, it happens all the time with all these teams. There's always an incline, and then you have your decline, and then you just have it where it's just steady in the middle. And this is exactly how the Minnesota Vikings defense were. I thought they were scary because I remember us playing them early in the season last year. I thought they were scary. But you guys are not. You are not scary. But you got Nick in there. He's a safety. So maybe that defense can come back alive because it's on hush mode right now. All right. Number 25, Houston Texans. DJ Bayan Amon's pick. Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, Ohio State. Okay. The Texans need wideout help after the loss of Stephon Diggs and free agency, along with Tank Dell's uncertainty knee. Going into quarterback, CJ Stroud's year 3, adding his former teammate that had 2,868 receiving yards in his 4-year career at Ohio State, could lead to a dynamic Texans receiver corps. A trio of Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, and Egbuka could elevate Stroud in the pivotal year to help create a more explosive Texas offense. That is so true. That is so true. This is CJ's 3rd year going into the NFL, so he's grown more, he's seen more, he understands things more. Now you bring another player in that he used to play with in college. And it's it's gonna go up in flames. It's on fire at that point. And I like this. This gonna make their offense very explosive. And not to mention Christian Kirk and Nico Collins. So now you got 3 of them. See that you got 3 beasts on your team when it comes to the offensive side. This is a good pick for the Houston Texans. I like it. Y'all stick with it and y'all work with it. All right. Number 26, we got the Los Angeles Rams. Sarah Barsha pick Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. Before the Rams signed wide receiver Davante Adams in free agency, they believed they had a draft receiver at number 26 to fill out that room. But even with Adams, 3rd-year receiver Puka Nacua and receiver Tutu Atwell, it's hard to pass up the speed of Golden in the 1st round to give quarterback Matthew Stafford another weapon. And the Rams another long-term option at the position. So they just add another wide receiver to their core, which they don't really need. They deal with the wide receivers. But anyhow, who am I? I'm just broadcasting and I'm just bringing it to you. But you guys picked up Matthew Golden, another wide receiver, so he's going to be in the mix with Puka and Adams and Tutu or Tut, however you say the name. He's going to be in the mix with them. So this is going to be another offense that's going to be very explosive. Now you got more weapons on your hand, Matthew. So you don't have to just keep doing it to one player all the time. We got you some more options now. All right. 27, Baltimore Ravens. Jamison Hensley pick, Malaki Starks, safety, Georgia. Starks can immediately start a free safety and help a Baltimore pass defense that finished 31st last season and has allowed 63 completions of throws of 15 or more yards downfield, tied for the second most in the NFL. The Ravens put a premium on versatility and can move Starks all over the field. He is the only player in the FBS to play at least 1,500 snaps as safety and 500 snaps as slot cornerback over the past 3 seasons. So they got them another safety, okay? Because the Ravens, y'all were doing good in the early season. Y'all were doing good early on in the season last season. But then y'all started to decline. So hopefully Malaki, he fills that hole that y'all need for the safety. And he can help bring the spark and bring the light back to the defensive side, because that is exactly what he needs. All right, number 28, you got the Detroit Lions. Eric Woodyard's pick, James Pierce Jr., offensive lineman, Tennessee. Outside linebacker, Tennessee. The Lions tackle a major need by adding an elite prospect at edge rusher. Pierce models his game after Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor and was a 2-time first-team All-SCE selection who can help generate pressure alongside Pro Bowler Aiden Hutchinson, who is set to make his return after last year's season injury against the Cowboys. The former Tennessee star is explosive with blazing speed, and he finished with 19.5 sacks over his 3-year college career. See, that's what you need. That's what you need. You want to get your defense better. You want to get them to be the best. You bring in players like this, 19.5 sacks over his 3-year college career. That's good. That's a lot of sacks. That is a lot of sacks. So this is good that they were able to pick up the outside linebacker for the defensive side. That way he can be back there with Aiden. I got you. I'll watch you, Aiden. Yeah, we all gonna be working together. So that defense is gonna be explosive. Y'all better watch out for that one. All right, number 29, Washington Commanders. John King's pick, Maxwell Hairston, cornerback, Kentucky. Washington would love to build a strong offensive line and find an edge rusher and coming back, but can address those needs later in the draft. With Hairston, the Commanders get another young corner who can play outside with ball skills, 6 interceptions in 2 years, short area quickness, and competitiveness. He provides them with a player who can help in sub packages and become a starter at some point. All right, Washington, y'all got y'all cornerback, okay? Do we see how far the Commanders went last season with Jaden doing that? That was his rookie season. Now you finna enter your sophomore season, okay? So ain't no telling how far they gonna go this time. I like the pick, though. All right, number 30. Got the Buffalo Bills. Elena Getzenberg pick. Kenneth Grant, defense tackle, Michigan. Cornerback was heavily considered in this spot, but with Grant falling down to number 30, investing up front is the move. Grant becomes the first one-technique defensive tackle drafted by the Bills since 2018. Harrison Phillip and is a need investment in the defensive line for now and the future. Trading up or back is always on the table for the Bills, and having 2 second-round picks open up plenty of possibilities for taking a corner. This is a good pick for the Bills that they did end up getting another defensive tackle. Because once a player leaves or gets traded to another team, now that hole got to be filled. And that hole, and that hole, and that hole. So they needed that on the defensive side. It's more defensive rounds in the first round that a lot of teams are needing versus the offensive side. It's quite a few. All right, number 31. Adam Tetris pick, Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State. The Chiefs, who started 6 different players at left tackle over the past 4 seasons, have been frustrated with their inability to find a long-term solution. But the frustration ends with the selection of Simmons. Simmons' 2024 season ended prematurely because of a knee injury. But the Chiefs, having signed Jalen Moore in free agency, won't have to rush Simmons into their lineup and can wait until he's ready to play. Yeah, so just sit him on the side right now until you guys are ready to play him. But you have him. This is the pick for the Chiefs, and you guys needed that. All right, y'all, to wrap it up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles 32. Tim McManus pick, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss. A big key to the Eagles' success is investing in the trenches. They selected a lineman in the first 9 times since Howie Roseman took over as general manager in 2010. And they need to beef up their defensive tackle rotation after losing Super Bowl standout Milton Williams in free agency. Nolan will bolster a group headed by Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. All right. So you guys have it for right here. These are all the picks for round 1, and that was a good pick for the Philadelphia Eagles to go ahead and bring another offensive lineman in there. That way they can boost it up. The defensive side. They can boost up their defensive side even better, even more dominant. And who knows? They might go back to the Super Bowl. Who knows? But this was all of the teams for the first round. This is just the first round. There's many, many rounds to go. And I'm sure some teams are going to be trying to switch in and out for what's going to be played and everything like that. But this is the first round of the NFL draft. So be sure to tune in to it tomorrow night so y'all can see everything. And if some other teams are just going to be switching players out for it. But you guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, like, share, and comment down below. As always, this is Bonnie Boo with the Get Down. We got to get down with all of the podcasts. We got to get down with all of the topics and the stories, the crazy idea. We got to dig deep into it. Okay, so this is round 1 of the NFL draft. All 32 teams are listed of what specific player that they are going to be picking up in the first round. All right, so if that is all, you guys, I will see you guys in the next video, and I am out.
Malaki Starks is a very talented safety for the Bulldogs. Just under 6'1", just under 200 pounds, ran a 4.5 flat 40. He plays as the nickel in this defense as well as the high safety. Had an unbelievable interception in the Clemson game.
Intercepted by the All-American Malaki Starks. That is absolutely ridiculous.
You see the athleticism, the ability to locate and high point the football. One of the most impressive interceptions you'll see from this year's draft class. He's very, very aggressive. He trusts his eyes. He sees it, he pulls the trigger, and he goes. Whether it's run or pass, he is not afraid to trust what he sees and go get it. The angles are outstanding in run support. He runs the alley perfectly. He's able to get there in a hurry, and he is a very firm, reliable tackler in space. This is a young player who's played a lot of football at Georgia. Had a few more plays made earlier in his career than he did in his final season, but this is someone, when you talk to coaches that have met with him, intelligent, leader, someone who's an outstanding communicator, who has that versatility to play as a nickel or as a safety. I love that combination of skills and leadership that he possesses, and he should hear his name called in the first round.
Final play of this first half, as it is intercepted. Malaki Starks, the first team All-America.
Derek Harmon is a big defensive tackle for the Ducks at 6'4.5", 313 pounds. Ran an excellent 4.95 at the scouting combine in Indianapolis. This is a very disruptive, upfield, penetrating defensive tackle.
Under pressure, and he gets sacked.
He's got quick hands, he's got quick feet, He sees the game very well. He can locate the ball and make plays. As a pass rusher, he flashes an occasional bull rush where you'll see him jolt and knock back blockers. You'll also see his ability to win with quickness, and that is his primary way to get to the quarterback.
He's looking to throw, but he's not going to get time. Down he goes at the 40, and it's Derek Harmon.
He's able to win on an edge, get upfield, and be very disruptive. Again, the instincts to find the ball, to find the quarterback, outstanding. This is a very productive, disrupting defensive tackle who shows up in every single game you study. Shemar Stewart is an athletic freak for the Aggies. At 6'5", 267 pounds, he ran a ridiculous 4.59 40. This is a very explosive, dynamic player on the edge.
And Jackson fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Texas A&M. Shemar Stewart.
Shot out of a cannon coming off the edge, and he's just going to meet him right at the mesh point.
The trick with him is trying to sort out the talent, the tools versus the production. He does not have a lot of sack production, but he does have a tremendous amount of pressures, and he does make impact in every single game. He can win right off the snap with his first step quickness, uses his long arms to create separation, and then he can burst and really close. The effort is there to finish, just needs to do a little bit better job of, once he gets home, of making the play. He's very disruptive. The production is trailing a little bit from that disruption and from that athleticism. He is very strong at the point of attack. He's very violent with his hands. He destroys tight ends in the run game. He is someone who is on early downs, has the ability to dominate right away, still developing as a rusher, still looking to add more moves, but this is an unbelievable talent to work with.
What a job from behind.
It's an excellent job by Shemar Stewart.
The coaches raved about Stewart's growth and improvement.
Mykel Williams from Georgia, edge rusher, a little over 6'5", 260 pounds. This is a physical specimen. He has outstanding length. He got unfortunately hurt against Clemson in the opening game and was never quite the same the rest of the season, dealing with a lower leg injury. When he is healthy, you can see a dynamic get-off.
Play fake, Ewers steps up, moves to his right. He's going to be sacked back at the 18. Mykel Williams gets the sack.
Excellent burst off the line of scrimmage, has the ability to play on the edge or slide inside and rush over a guard. He has a shake bull move where you'll see him stutter and then just knock back blockers with his power that he's able to generate. Also has a nice swipe move, using his hands exceptionally well.
Pressure from the edges. Ewers hit, the ball comes out. Mykel Williams tipped the ball out.
He can set the edge all day long in the run game. That is not an issue. In terms of sack production, it's a little bit limited, but you can dream on the upside of Mykel Williams, just with the size, the length, the explosiveness. I do feel like there's some development to take place, but provided he gets with the right coaching staff, sky's the limit with the ability he possesses.
Mike Green is an ultra-productive edge rusher for the Thundering Herd at a little over 6'3", 251 pounds. He knows how to rush the passer. Excellent quickness, burst off the line of scrimmage. He can really stack moves.
There it is, sack number 8 for the most feared pass rusher.
If he doesn't win right away, he can escape. He can win with his second rush.
Mike Green.
Under pressure, and a sack from one of the nation's best, Mike Green.
You'll see him with spin moves. He can jolt blockers with power. He played excellent in the Ohio State game when he had a chance to step up in competition. He also had a big-time performance at the Reese's Senior Bowl practices, including the rep of the week where he was able to run right through Josh Connerly, a very talented tackle from the University of Oregon. So the effort is there, the production is there. This is a guy who really knows how to rush the passer out of Marshall.
Mike Green trips him up, and down he goes.
One of the best edge rushers in the country, Mike Green.
Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado, 6'1.5", 212 pounds. Someone who's added some weight through the process. Looked good at the scouting combine. I can tell he's really worked hard to continue to get stronger. This is a touch, accuracy, and toughness quarterback. Let's start first of all with the toughness.
2nd and 4. Sanders again fires. Caught! Touchdown!
Did not have the luxury of playing behind a good offensive line for his 2 years at the University of Colorado and took a beating, but somehow kept getting up, hung in the pocket, and made some big-time throws under duress.
3rd down. Sanders again. He's elusive. He's going to let it fly. And it is caught.
He is excellent anticipation. You can see him anticipate windows, get the ball out with touch and with accuracy. He does not have a big power arm. The arm strength is good enough, but it's not on the elite level. There are some times inside the pocket where he starts to drift. He took a lot of sacks behind this offensive line, a lot of them the fault of the offensive line, but also some instances where he was drifting in the pocket. Those are areas he can continue to improve. I think it's going to be key that he finds the right fit in an offense that will really feature his anticipation and accuracy.
It is Sanders, and he will waltz in.
Touchdown, Colorado!
Tet McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona, is a big, good-looking wideout at over 6'4". He's 219 pounds. The comparison is easy to make with Drake London when Drake London was coming out of USC, and we've seen the receiver he's blossomed into with the Atlanta Falcons. Very tall, very rangy, not the most sudden mover, but very smooth and can really gain ground with that big stride. His calling card is the ball skills and the catch radius. He can play above the rim. He can adjust like crazy to make some insane catches. His body control is excellent. That is what makes him special.
McMillan turns it upfield. Sometimes he just makes it look easy. So physically gifted.
There is still some urgency I'd like to see at times where you could be a little bit more urgent in his release and the way he gets in and out of breaks at the top of routes. But this is a smooth, fluid athlete that it should be a touchdown machine once you get down in the red zone. Just think of a basketball player that can really go up and get the ball. He is outstanding at it, and that will be the strength of his ball game as soon as he gets to the next level.
T-Mac! Oh, man. This kid is a baller.
Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver from Ohio State, is almost 6'1". He's 202 pounds. This is someone with a lot of experience at Ohio State and experience in big games and on big stages. First of all, off the field, coaches and everyone at Ohio State raves about his maturity, his leadership, and his work ethic, and it shows up on the field. He is someone who is a clean route runner. He can get up to top speed in a hurry. He tracks the ball extremely well. Jackson Smith-Njigba, there's some similarities to him when he was at Ohio State. The toughness to play through contact is there. Someone that's very dependable, very reliable. Amon-Ra St. Brown is another name that comes to mind when you watch him with his body type and just the strength and physicality that he plays with. This is a polished player. There's not a lot of development needed. He's ready to make an impact right away as a rookie.
Play action flipped wide open. Egbuka, touchdown Ohio State.
Tyler Booker is a big, physical, mauling guard for the Crimson Tide. He's almost 6'5". He's 321 pounds with very long arms. Ideal size, strength, and instincts when you watch him. He is very firm in pass protection. He can really drop his weight, set a firm anchor. You want guys on the interior who can give you that depth of a pocket, and he's able to do that because of his immediate anchor. He takes excellent angles in the run game. He's someone who's going to be more of a power gap scheme blocker. You're going to use his strength to move people at the point of attack.
A hole on the left side, and Alabama's on the board on an 8-yard touchdown run.
He's not quite as effective when he's out in space. That's an area you can continue to see him grow and develop.
Tyler Booker and Parker Brailsford cleared the way. Touchdown, Jalen Milroe.
He is loved at the University of Alabama. They rave about his leadership there. Someone at the school referred to him to me as the Will Anderson of their offense. Someone who's taken other offensive linemen under his wing. Someone who understands the game extremely well. This is a pro's pro. Someone who should have an immediate impact and should be a day one starter.
Will Johnson, corner, Michigan, is almost 6'2", 194 pounds. He's a big, good-looking, long, rangy corner for the Wolverines. Did not have the year he would have hoped for in 24, but if you go back to the tape in 23, you'll find a big, easy-moving, fluid corner with outstanding instincts and ball skills, particularly from off coverage. You can watch the USC game this year. You'll see him read through the receiver to the quarterback, drive, not only make a play on the football, but pick it off and return it for a touchdown. That's a glimpse into the athleticism and the playmaking that you get with Will Johnson. There are times in the run game, I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive and a little more firm as a tackler. That led to a few misses. And there are some concerns about the deep speed. That is the question there. But I do think with his size, his ability to move, how fluid he is, and his instincts, this is someone who has a chance to be a very productive corner at the next level.
Johnson, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Pick six.
Nick Amenwari, safety, South Carolina. This is a rare height, weight, speed, physical specimen. At over 6'3", 220 pounds. He ran a 4.38 40 at the NFL Scouting Combine. He has the ability to play high as a safety, but I prefer him closer to the line of scrimmage. You see him as a big nickel, sub linebacker, just kind of fill in that overhang role for a defense where he can use his eyes and instincts and then tap into that speed to undercut routes. You'll see multiple pick sixes on his tape this year where he can make plays on the ball, go get it, and take it to the house. I don't think he's quite as instinctive in the back half as he is closer to the line of scrimmage. Against the run, he takes excellent angles, and at his size, as you can imagine, he is a firm physical tackler with a very high batting average. So you have someone who can also blitz, he can cover underneath, he's good against the run. This is a very talented, very versatile player with outstanding size and speed, someone who should hear his name called in the middle of the first round.
It is intercepted. Free ball for Amenwari. He's got his second pick of the game, and he's looking for a block. It's another South Carolina defensive score. A 66-yard pick six.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, is 5'11", 191 pounds, ran a blistering 4.29 40 at the NFL Scouting Combine. This is one of the more polished wide receivers in this draft class. This is not just a north-south speed, maybe a little bit tight, what you see, guys that run this fast. This is a loose, polished, instinctive route runner with outstanding toughness. He does a great job of getting separation out of the break. He stays grounded through the catch. He runs right through the ball, doesn't have to cradle or protect himself. He really does trust his hands. He can break tackles, he can make you miss, and evidenced by the speed, he can run away from you as well. This is both a reliable and an explosive weapon in this year's draft class. I think that makes him quite unique, and that's what makes him, to me, someone worthy of hearing his name somewhere in the middle of the first round, and someone that's going to be hitting home runs very early in his NFL career.
Wide open and into the end zone is Matthew Golden.
Omarion Hampton, running back from North Carolina, is one of the more intriguing players in this draft class. He's almost 6 foot tall. He's 221 pounds, a very firm 221 pounds, and ran a 4.46 40 at the NFL Scouting Combine. He is a big, explosive runner. He can get up to top speed in a hurry, and he runs hard.
Here's Hampton, hurdled a man, driving and scores. Wow.
You can see opportunities where defenders have a clean run at him from the side. I'm talking 20 yards worth of a sprint from the outside in, and he literally bounces off those defenders because of his strength and balance as a runner.
Big hole up the middle, still on his feet, inside the 20, bounces off a tackler and scored.
He likes to press the hole and then make a quick decision. Once he does, he puts his foot in the ground and he can really burst north and south.
Hampton, and he will roll into the end zone, a touchdown. Can't even tackle him.
He does have some looseness to him to be able to make defenders miss out in space. And once he does get out there, he has the home run speed as evidenced by his 40 time to go make some big plays happen. In the pass game, he has strong, reliable hands, catches the ball well, and he's more than willing as a blocker in pass protection. Omarion Hampton, one of the complete players in this draft class, someone who I think is going to have an opportunity to be a Rookie of the Year candidate right when he gets into the league. That type of ability.
Omarion Hampton breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Tar Heels.
Jahad Campbell, linebacker from the University of Alabama, almost 6'3", 235 pounds. He ran an impressive 4.5 240 at the NFL Scouting Combine. This was a player who was recruited as an edge rusher out of high school, but upon arrival at Alabama, quickly realized there were 2 first-round edge rushers already on campus. So him and the coaches, they got together, decided they wanted to get him on the field, so they moved him to an off-the-ball linebacker role, and he's continued to grow and get better each year for the Crimson Tide.
Flea flicker on the second play, and ripped down is Brady Cook.
He has big-time speed and lateral range. He flashes the ability to thump off blocks and make plays inside the box. And he's also been given some opportunities on occasion to rush off the edge, and that's what gets me really excited about his game.
He is pressure, that ball's loose. That is recovered by Alabama.
He can burst, he can bend, and he can finish as an edge rusher. Now, he's only 235 pounds, but he does have the frame to carry more weight, and I would not be surprised if some teams do that. Try and bulk him up, make him a full-time edge rusher because he has that type of talent and natural feel as a rusher. In the meantime, you can play him off the ball. He's a dynamic blitzer. He can really run and cover. There's a lot to love about the versatility of Jahad Campbell.
Down he goes, Jahad Campbell.
Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU, almost 6'6", 319 pounds. This is someone who does not have the desired length. His arm length came in a little bit shorter than you'd like at under 33 inches. Some believe he'll end up playing guard. I still like him as a tackle because even though with his lack of length, which allows defenders to get to his chest, he is such an incredible athlete. He's able to recover, he's able to really drop his weight and able to get the job done at left tackle. He's very aware. He's got outstanding instincts. He bends his knees, he keeps his hands in tight, and even when he gets bull rushed, he might give a little ground, but he can really recover and stop the charge. In the run game, when he is able to fit up and stay attached, it's excellent. There are some times where he slips off blocks. Like to see him be a little bit more consistent in the run game. And talking to folks at LSU, a lot of NFL players in that group, but he's only one of 4 who started his first game as a true freshman, never lost his job, and never missed time. So that is definitely noteworthy. The dependability, the availability, very important at the left tackle position.
Barron is an excellent secondary player for the Texas Longhorns. He's just under 5'11", 194 pounds, and ran in the 4.3s at the NFL Scouting Combine. He can play outside, he can play inside at nickel. You could even drop him back and play him at safety if you'd like.
Back who stands and delivers on the sidelines. It's intercepted. Picked up by Barron.
He's very tough, very smart, very explosive, and very instinctive.
They're down in 3 as that never had a chance. It was Barron again.
I believe his best position at the next level is going to be as a nickel corner, someone who reminds me a lot of Cooper DeJean when he was coming out of Iowa. We've seen the impact that he can have on the ball game. He's got excellent quickness. His eyes are outstanding, sees the field well.
Look at his eyes already. He's watching a quarterback more than he is the receiver. The receiver's in his peripheral vision.
And he is a very dependable and reliable tackler in the run game. So you can blitz him, he can play the run, he makes plays on the football. All around, an excellent football player for the Longhorns.
It is intercepted. Jahdae Barron the takeaway.
Armand Membou, offensive tackle, University of Missouri, a little over 6'4", 332 pounds, who was incredible at the NFL Scouting Combine when he ripped off a 4.9 140.
4.91 at that height and weight. Goodness gracious.
He is thick and square at the right tackle position. He plays with long arms, uses his length to keep defenders off of his chest. He really bends easy. He's a natural mover. You'll see him explode out of his stance, and that kind of displays some of his athleticism and explosion. He can redirect really naturally, really easily. Everything he does is very smooth. Some teams believe he'd be better off playing inside. I like him holding up at tackle, whether that's on the right side where he played in college, or even potentially moving over to the left side. I think he is ready to be a long-term NFL starter. He's young, he's still developing, and he has some rare physical tools. Cam Ward, quarterback, University of Miami. Cam Ward is in his third college stop after beginning at Incarnate Word, then making his way to Washington State before having a phenomenal final campaign at the University of Miami. He's a compact build. He's just under 6'2", 219 pounds. He has a very live arm. That's the first thing you'll notice when you study Cam. The ball jumps out of his hand. He can throw from a variety of postures and arm angles. He is very freewheeling and loose in terms of how he can throw the football, which leads to a lot of incredible plays, as well as some over-aggressiveness at times and some turnovers. So finding a way to harness that will be key at the next level. But he has quick feet, quick hands. He's excellent in the RPO game. He'll take the free yards that are presented to him as a runner, and there is tremendous upside with Cam Ward. Every stop that he's made, he's gotten better, and I don't see that being an exception once he gets to the NFL. I do believe his best football is still to come.
Ward's going to take off. Diving! Touchdown, Cam Ward!
Colston Loveland, tight end from Michigan, almost 6'6", 248 pounds. He is a long, lean, very athletic tight end for the Wolverines. Someone who at his height and size is excellent getting in and out of breaks as a route runner, which leads to a lot of separation. He attacks the ball with his hands. He's got strong, reliable hands with a big catch radius. He can really go up and play above the rim and win in contested catch opportunities because of that athleticism, length, and jumping ability. After the catch, he can run away from you. He's got some make miss, and he also has displayed a real physical stiff arm to get away from tacklers. In the run game, he's consistent. He does a good job of staying connected. He's not the best finisher. I think as you see him grow and get stronger, you'll see an improvement in that department. But make no mistake about it, Colston Loveland is going to be very quarterback friendly and is ready to make an impact day one in the NFL.
Wide open, touchdown Loveland!
Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State. He's 6'5.5", 256 pounds, massive target for the Nittany Lions. He's someone that is used in a variety of roles in this offense. They will use him in line as a tight end. They'll flex him out. He will serve some time as the Wildcat quarterback in short yardage. They can use him in a variety of capacities. And just a very versatile, athletic player at his size. Running routes, he's better on the move. Think about him running down the seam or crossers, using that big frame to wall off and box out defenders down the field. He's physical after the catch. You'll see defenders just bounce off of him. So I love the size and the physicality he has there. Still some work to do in terms of getting in and out of breaks and some of the more polished nuances of the position, but this is a big physical pass catcher. In the run game, very physical and strong at the point of attack. He can absolutely dominate with his ability to take second level defenders, latch on and drive. You saw that in the playoff game against SMU. The power that he possesses to displace defenders is very evident. I think this is going to be a quarterback-friendly target that's going to go in the top 10 of the upcoming draft.
Jump ball for Tyler Warren! Touchdown!
Jalen Walker, linebacker slash edge rusher from the University of Georgia. He's 6'1", 243 pounds. He splits his time playing off the ball for the Georgia defense, as well as an opportunity to rush off the edge, which is where you see some special things from him. He is very compact. He is very explosive. He does not give you a lot of surface area to block. He can win with speed. He can win with power. And he also has a nifty counter rush to be able to get tackles leaning in one direction, cross their face, and make plays. He has elite change of direction. He is just an excellent athlete. And when you talk to the folks at Georgia, they rave about his leadership. They say he has been the tone setter for this defense. I look at some players in the NFL that you've seen coming from the University of Georgia who did a lot of different things in this defense in college and really shown what they can do at the next level in the NFL. You think about Trayvon Walker and what he's done for the Jacksonville Jaguars as he's continued to grow and develop into a really good player. And I think of Quay Walker and how his role has continued to grow and evolve for the Green Bay Packers. The explosiveness, the versatility, I think will serve Jalen Walker quite well at the next level.
Pressure from Jalen Walker, their leading sack man.
Mason Graham from Michigan, defensive tackle, 6'3.5". He is 296 pounds at the NFL Scouting Combine. This is someone who has a wrestling background, and it shows when you study him. I wrote the words block destruction numerous times on my paper when watching him play. He's able to leverage underneath blocks, use his hands, discard blockers, and find his way to the football. His vision and instincts are outstanding. He's able to locate the ball, close, and make plays. The range against the run is very evident. He can make plays outside the tackle box, and the effort is tremendous. As a pass rusher, I still think there's upside there. Continue to add to his arsenal of moves, but has a nice club rip move that he wins with. And again, the effort, run, and pass is excellent. Mason Graham, I think, is a very good player right now, and I do think his best football is yet ahead of him.
Mason Graham making an impact.
Ashton Jeanty, running back from Boise State. He's 5'8.5", 211 pounds, who has a unique upright stance, something you don't see very often. It's very specific to how he plays. There's no real reason for it. It's just different. But he has tremendous balance and burst as a runner. Some of the best contact balance that I've ever seen. There's just not a lot of surface area to hit on Ashton Jeanty when he gets in the hole, and you'll see him bounce off of tacklers and hit a lot of home runs. The quickness in and out, the stop-start ability is excellent. In the pass game, he's someone you're going to want to get out in the route, catches the ball really naturally. In pass protection, he's quick to ID blitzers and more, sit and absorb pass rushers and blitzers versus attacking them. That's an area of his game he could improve. Also notable, a lot of carries on him over the last couple years, and does have 9 fumbles total over the last 2 years. So protecting the football will be key for him going forward, but one of the elite special players in this year's draft class.
And he does what nobody else in the game can do.
Abdul Carter, edge rusher from Penn State, is one of the elite players in this draft class. He's about 6'3", 250 plus pounds. He's an elite rusher. Began his career off the ball as an off-the-ball linebacker, but when he got a chance to rush this past season, you saw all of his talent really shine through. Big time elite burst off the line of scrimmage. He's able to win early in the down because of his speed. He can bend at the top of his rush and flatten towards the quarterback. He's got outstanding instincts. When he feels a tackle is overset, he's able to cross right underneath his face and get to the quarterback. Against the run, very easy, can stack and hold blocks at the point of attack with real strong, firm hands, and can chase with elite speed on the backside of the play. He truly is an elite player who, in the college football playoffs with only one arm, dealing with an injury, was still the most dominant player on the field. Has battled a little bit of a foot issue in the spring, but I would be shocked if he does not hear his name called in one of the first 3 picks of the upcoming draft.
Oh, Abdul Carter!
Travis Hunter, the do-it-all stud from the University of Colorado, just over 6 foot, 188 pounds, is someone who's done things we have not seen on the college football field as a full-time wide receiver and corner. Let's start first of all at wide receiver. He is smooth, fluid, and has tremendous burst once the ball gets in his hands. He's a creative route runner. He's able to generate a lot of separation out of his breaks. He does not have any wasted movement in the way he moves offensively. Outstanding ball skills, can go get the ball down the field, track it over his shoulder, or adjust to underthrown balls with tremendous athleticism and body control. On the defensive side of the ball at corner, he's at his best in off coverage, where he can see through the wide receiver to the quarterback, anticipate and drive on routes. Very explosive in his plant and drive, and those ball skills on the offensive side of the ball obviously translate quite well on the defensive side of the ball. It'll be interesting to see what he does at the next level in terms of where he majors and minors. I don't see him as playing full-time on both sides of the ball at the NFL level over a long season. That would be a big ask. It's most likely easier to major on defense and minor on offense, but either way, Travis Hunter is going to be a fun toy for whoever picks him in the top 5 of the draft.
Travis Hunter! Put the cape on him already!